just starting to get some. So as for me, I don't really remember the first person I met. I have met like a group of person. I'm still in contact with them. So one thing I do remember that I had no idea about like a lot of things like what army and etc. about clubs, about student government, and some of them they really taught me everything that I need to know. Like, did you know that we have this? Did you know that we have this and this? And I think it's really important sometimes to have these people around or to have some resources that you can like access, because we have a lot of things in our university, and I'm sure that a lot of new students like me sometimes don't even know like simple things that's maybe very obvious for seniors. So it's currently what we're working on in the student government too. So wait for it.
Yeah, so I think my first day was similar to yours. I was like very confused at first. Alisher, do you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say about Zarina's work. Well, actually, you know, it may sound terrible that I didn't meet anybody in person, but it's not that hard. It's not that, you know, painful, because it depends on what you are planning to do at university, you know. Well, my first 2 semesters, so I was primarily concerned with the education. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to learn, to study. So I didn't feel that, you know, that pain, that pressure for being online, except for the fact that I didn't meet professors, probably.
Yeah, that's a perspective too, right? So, so what you guys did, what impression did you had when you just first met the community? What did you think of the students, and how would you describe this kind of feelings toward the new community now? And did the emotions change through the years? So your first impression, and now, can you reflect on that a little bit?
When I had my first day of classes, I was a first year. I remember it was a rhetorics, and as a 8th block, I believe they're like all SHSS students. So they looked so busy. They had their MacBooks, coffees, they had their Starbucks. They were so busy with the headphones. I couldn't even come to anyone and ask, where is this class is, like what floor is it? So they looked so busy and they were rushing like everywhere. It was just the first day, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't buy copybooks. So I was like, what to do to become busy as they are? And now I think, yeah, like fortunately, unfortunately, I became this like busy senior student. So yeah, my first impression was that everyone is so different. They even dress differently, so expressively, with some yellow t-shirts or orange t-shirts. Some went to in pajamas, and I was like, wow, they're so liberal. Like they do whatever they want to do, and they have like no standards at all. Like they speak loudly, they laugh loudly, and they go and they just go to professors and say something to them. So I was really impressed, and I was like, wow, I want to know all of them, because I think they all look so smart. Though I know like not everyone is smart, like some of them just are rushing somewhere, but nevertheless, they have something like very unique. So that's what I really liked. And I still like it in our community, though I don't see people, but I believe that maybe this campus experience, yes, they really wore in pajamas, like so many people were wearing like robes,
Robes, yeah.
Yeah, and they just
normal at the university, yeah.
It was so common, you don't even look at these people, you know, like after several times, you don't even notice them, because you think like, oh, you even could go like in anything you want. So what I think is that, yes, this campus experience really made people to feel this like a new atmosphere, and I hope that all first years and second years, they will come back to campus and regenerate this new atmosphere, because you learn these things only by looking at the seniors, you know? You never come to this university and feel that you should be dressed like this or dressed like this. Like all these norms are visualized and given to you by seniors. So it's like a passing by experience.
Yeah.
So I hope like you guys will experience it too.
Yeah.
May I add to, so going back to pajama point, so it's kind of when I saw that, and then the people said like, oh, we don't care, like you can go to classes in your pajamas and like bring some like stuffed animals or something like this. You can do whatever you want, and that was the best part for me. Like it was, yeah, I like the sense of freedom, and I really took a lot of opportunities to go around in my PJs. So yes, but going back again to the points of the freedom, it's kind of I really like, and at first I was really surprised and pleasantly impressed by the sense of freedom, by the sense of the people that they can express themselves, they feel safe. Everyone is different and they're not afraid of that, because everyone can accept each other, and sometimes people don't even like care, you do whatever you want, right? And this sense of acceptance, our wonderful community, and like this comfortability, like how we have like lots of great students. Right now, like in Skywalk, you can see like this banners with all the achievements of every like student, and in all our social medias you see these achievements, and you really get a sense how each and every student in our university is very unique and is very accomplished and is very just great. I was in awe of that at first, and I was like, but I am not really that. I'm just a simple person. Like, how I could even come closer to that? But I think that what the atmosphere in our university does and what opportunities we have, it kind of fosters it. So you do this, you do that, and it kind of adds up. And in the end, if you really just say yes to some opportunities that come your way, you can be like at the end in some of these banners too. So, and again, I think that all of this great atmosphere is what motivated me to join the student government and work really hard to maintain this way, because I saw the hardship of the students. I saw these great students who were dealing with some minor issues, some major issues. There was like, no, it needs to stop. Like, we have a solution. Sometimes it's a simple one, sometimes it's a difficult one, but we need to like fight for it. We need to make sure that these great people have great conditions. So it's something that motivated me to join the student government and work really hard for in it. So it's kind of some of my experience.
Yeah, thank you. And I think the student government and all of its members is also partly responsible for the creation of the NU atmosphere, as we say. And you really are the people who take care of it and like try to help maintain it. So, Adeshar, what did you think of the NU community at first?
Well, frankly speaking, I'm just a little over a month at the university. So I checked in on campus on August 10th, even less than a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still undergoing the process, of socializing this community. But what I understood so far, and the greatest is that you meet different people who accomplish different things, and you feel motivated because you hear these stories like, this guy went undergo some internship, this guy worked in this place, this guy has some super high GPA, and you understand, well, you raise your standards in your head. And I think that's cool, because you don't want to be a loser, right? You want to be better. And that's what I'm feeling right now, because every day I meet new people, and I talk to them, and I get impressed by what they do and want to do the same and even more. And that's what I really mostly like. Unfortunately, I haven't really had a single offline class yet. All of my classes were online, but I'm looking forward for offline this semester probably.
And do you think it is possible to experience the feeling of being one with the NU community while you're at home, or the NU campus is like very mandatory to experience all of that?
Well, it depends on you. I know a lot of students who were really socialized in our class of 24. Already met a lot of people who they contacted and met in person. Well, I'm not this kind of person because I knew only a couple of students.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came to campus, I was overwhelmed by how great the education at university is, how great the university is, how interesting is this, and how my life turned like to be 180 degree, So I'm still feeling, this kind of euphoria right now. And that's what I wish everybody feels at some point in their lives.
Okay. And so my next question would be, what were the biggest challenges for you guys in the way of socializing at university, and maybe how did you overcome them? So can you share your experience with us? Or you had any challenges?
Like I had few problems because I was a direct student, and not many previous classmates. What I'm saying, like, okay, my previous classmates didn't go to this university, so I didn't have any kind of old friends there. So I was struggling like first weeks, how to talk with people, like how to start a conversation, because you're like in person. Do I just come and say, hi, my name is Aknur. What class are you? What major are you? But, like what helped me is actually, it's the next question, but it's getting into a student club, because there you actually meet people from different majors, from different years. And that's when you feel like, oh, so they're actually good people, so I can go and talk with other people outside of the club too. So that's how I overcame.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm not sure if you were shy, because I remember you on the first day at university and you would just straight up, hey, my name is Aknur.
No, I wasn't shy with you because we had one common friend, so I was okay with it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Zarina, did you have any challenges in your social life?
Oh yeah, sure. I think that my challenge is very similar to Aknur. It's very hard to like find some people that are like some friends, right? Some people who are interested in the same thing as you. And I think, yeah, joining like different events, different student clubs. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, okay. So joining the student clubs and student government really allowed me to like meet like-minded people. Where sometimes like even though like we were from different majors, different backgrounds, different cities, we were kind of united by the same goal. And this was really interesting. I met very different people, very interesting. Sometimes you cannot even imagine that, and you don't really know what kind of things our students do. Sometimes it comes to you like a surprise, or he's a great poet. Like and one students like they when I had one experience when I met one student, and like he started to recite a poem to me, and he said, oh, I wrote it myself. And it was just straight away. It's not like, hi, like my name is blah blah blah. It's just straight away a poem. So it was really interesting experience, and I think every experience was unique and interesting. And yeah, I'm just traveling right now.
Yeah, and I can already predict what challenges did Alisher have, because online again, but you can share your thoughts also.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, online education is a big barrier for socialization. But what I will suggest to the freshman students is to join student clubs. That's the really major place of socialization in life. And even if you don't like, so nothing, you're not required to do something as if you're working on contract somewhere. So you're free to join somewhere else, even if you're also free to leave. And you will not lose something. You will just gain by joining student clubs, even though you probably sometimes might not like what they are involved in. So is what's important.
Okay, yeah, so this is a really great point all of you have touched upon. So student clubs, let's just discuss it. Can you all share your experiences, student clubs? I know all of you have plenty of experience. And so what did you learn there? What did you do? How did everything go? So we can start.
I think that's going back to Alisher's point, student clubs are not really only good for like socialization. They're great for that, but it's not the only thing. Another thing that we have lots of career clubs, like we have career clubs like for almost every major. And I was a part of Kazakhstan Finance Association. We had like really great resources, contacts with companies like BCPD, BI Group, etc., and KPMG, and you can meet like HRs, some employees through the student clubs. You can, and they also organize multiple like courses, financial risk management, etc., and you can really gain the professional knowledge during your stay in the club. Like a lot of opportunities will come your way during the club, like being a member of the club. And we have also club for leisure and like dance club. Some of the dance club members, I believe, they even became a professional dancers, and there's a lot of opportunities. Sometimes in some clubs you can chill and relax. In some clubs you can gain like knowledge as well, and you can mix and match that. It's all depends on your interest too.
Yeah. And what would you say your like top skills that were developed during your stay at the student club?
I think it's more of the project management skills. Also, I like learned a lot about what I want to do with my career, and I also completed some online courses, and I'm on the way of completing like different courses in financial analytics. And I also gained in student government, I also gained some social media skills, design skills. So if you see like Ministry of Education page, like a lot of these posts are made for sure by my members and by me too. So it was really nice experience. And if I start about talking about student government, it will be a very long speech. But
yeah, and I can join you. We can discuss it later together.
Sure. So it's kind of these skills, like organizational skills, some practical skills, and socialization. Sure.
Yeah, that's nice. Aknura, what is your student club experience? I know you also have an extensive amount of stories to tell.
Yes, I'm a very diligent, consistent person. So already 3 years in the accounting and auditing club. As a reason why I came there, I didn't know anything about this club. I liked them because at the club fair in the August, they gave me many stickers. They had stickers left and they gave me 2 packs. And I was like, oh my God, guys, I love you. So yes, and there's why I got to the recruitment team and they liked me. I liked them too. And since that time, I'm a member of this club. And I think that it was one of the best decisions of my student life. I don't even want to imagine what will be my student life at campus without this student club, because there is kind of a vibe of going out to team buildings, of going out to some meetings, of attending this leadership thing because of you and the club.
Because
So
of the free food, right?
yes, because you're like a new member and they will like push you to go there. So it was all funny, and I'm glad that I made so many friends who are seniors and from whom I could learn something, because it's a one thing when you go to your courses and you meet like your peers, they're all like 18, 19, they also know nothing. So you just go and learn from each other. But when you have like senior students, it's just so cool. You can ask them for advice. So yes, I think that for sure go to clubs, even if they're online, just stay there, be a board member so that they will not kick out you. Because my advice is that, for example, right now we're doing recruiting, and to be honest, for example, we take first years even without like looking at their motivational letters. We just take them because their first years we will be like, okay, you all go for us, because we know how hard it is for them, and that by getting into a club on the first year, they will just step by step build their resumes, CVs. Maybe they will not like us, maybe they will like us. So just go right now, because when you're first year, people are like more,
Devoted.
they don't mind if you know nothing. They will be like, okay, that was expecting. So just go to the clubs, because when we go to campus back, you will be very impressed by how funny they are.
Yeah. So, Alishar, what is the online club experience? Can you tell us?
Yes, I can. Well, I actually agree with every word that Zarina and Afur say about the experience in online clubs in terms of the participation. But my point, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about the what you learn basically from being there. And unconsciously, just like a couple of months ago, I realized that I actually learned a lot of things while being at student club. And I also realized the fact that when you work for the student club, it's like a demo version of your work for some company or some real life project, and you receive a salary or something like this. And in terms of hard and soft skills, what I personally learned is the negotiation skills, how to find partners, partnership development, how to talk to some super cool guys like CEOs of companies. And I was like, right, I entered the Ministry of Finance in ISEC. I was, well, who I am to talk to, for instance, the CEO of BI Group, right? And then I realized that it's so hard, it's so easy to reach out to them, and so easy to talk with the some, I don't know, employment opportunity or advice. So that's what basically I learned. And that would really help me to get my internships and my work that I'm doing now. So even if you do not really understand what are you doing in the student club at the moment, trust me, at the end, you will realize that you unconsciously learn some hard and soft skills. And of course, it also will boost your CV. It's a nice point in your CV that you are a member of some student club and perform some professional tasks.
Yeah, and I think like a huge part of being in the student club is networking, and all of you have mentioned it. So it doesn't just only your club members, I don't know, peers, but also, as Alishar said, you meet people outside of university at different companies and various very cool people. So networking is really a huge part of being in the student club.
Yeah. Also, I want to add, just now I have I have a phone number of Aydin Rahimbayev, like the CEO of BI Group or CEO of Shokan Suits, CEO of Tikiton, who else? Some other startuppers, and you can easily contact them, reach out to their emails, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever it is. That's what makes you feel, you feel cool, you feel like you're not just a student, you're some higher.
Yeah, that's cool. And my next topic is also related to the extracurricular activities. However, it is more related to the academic life. And I know all of you have worked with professors, whether it is research assistantship or teaching assistantship. So can you please tell us first your impression with the professors and staff at university? So while you were a freshman, what did you think of the people who work here?
May I start? So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to expand a little bit on Alisher's point in this kind of context. So kind of this social life, it allows you also like to learn our like staff and professors on a personal level. And for example, Sayan is our Minister of Accommodation, recently said to me one thing that really resonated with me, like, oh, working in student government really prepares you for life. And he said it because you kind of learn how to talk to people, talk to our administration, and it's really our administration, how they operate. They operate like we're working, sure, and it's how it will be, and you're working along with them, and it's how you work like in real life outside of the university. So this kind of I think engaging in this, it allows you to learn them on a personal level, and if I will talk about my first impression, I was really impressed with all of my professors. I took like a lot of like basic courses for sure as a first year, and they were so open. They were so willing to like give you a feedback, uh, learn a lot, and you can like engage with them, talk to them, debate to them. And one of the things that again that we had during online, you could just go to some cafeteria and saw your professor and just talk to them. That was really nice. And they generally, our professors have like this like free-spirited attitude towards it. So, and primarily the goal of the students and professors is to kind of help you, even like urge you to do more. Like maybe if you want to explore some research in metro, maybe you want to be a teaching assistant. I had like one of my professors coming to me and saying, "Oh, do you want to be a teacher assistant?" So this kind of I think what my advice would be for the for freshman students is to kind of just talk to people, talk to your professors, and if you join the student government, you will see them in a different light, like during the committee meetings and during some negotiations. So they're really sometimes different from how they speak during the classes. That's an interesting point. So yeah.
And I think you really know a lot on this point because you were the member of almost every discussion that was held between our administration and the students. And it's really cool that at our university, students are the part of the question. So we're always we're never neglected. We always have something to say and they listen to us. And this is really cool.
Yeah, and if don't feel like your voice doesn't matter, it matters. So if for example, you have something that you're burning with, like you have this issue and you think this how it should be done, I want to speak to someone, you can always write to me, write to student government, and we will arrange that. So if you don't, for example, oh, I want to speak about this, and we will like maybe arrange some meeting with vice provost or something like this. And so you're heard. You can always talk to us.
Okay, and Sherry, you have something to say, right?
Yes. You know, I wasn't an NIS student, right? I came from a visual
Mhm.
school. I studied 11 classes there. And when I came to the university, what I was impressed is the absence or the low level of subordination between professors and students.
Yeah.
So at school, you see your teachers and they're like, yo, I'm the boss here. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I talk, you listen, something like this. And when it comes to professors, they like your older brothers and sisters, something like this. You respect them, of course. You keep
Mhm.
some certain amount of subordination, but nevertheless, as Irina says, your voice is heard. And you can always talk to them about certain, not even class related things. And that's what's wonderful. But there is one point. What I actually mentioned, I'm not sure whether it's accurate or not, just my observation is that
Mhm.
tend to be friendly, right, with those students who are um active in their classes. So if you're not active on their classes, like you don't do your assigned tasks and homeworks, like you don't respect your professor's time or something like this, you're most likely will not get the same attitude as those students who are active. And my advice is to be active with professors, to come to the how they're called office hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be active at lectures, and not only this will bring you some you will not only this will like help you to be in good touch with your professor, but it also has certain um, other side benefits. Well, for instance, you can be a research assistant of your professor even at studying when studying the first year, because you've shown yourself good in their classes. So you did a great job. Um, I did certain classes. I also had mistakes and missed assignments, but nevertheless, I managed to be in good touch with all my PLS course professors. And I really enjoy when I'm second year students, when I can consult them on certain issues that I have.
Yeah. So you really mentioned really important point here. And Aknura, do you really want to add something here?
Yes, I think like if there are any econ students right now or those who want to major econ, like it may seem like that econ professors are not talkative, they're not friendly, they're not like doing any favors. If you ask them for anything, they will be like either not responding or just saying no. It may seem so at first, but actually like I'm a very good relationship with Professor Irina and Professor Alejandro and Professor Alek Rubanov. They all were so strict to me, like it didn't make my life easier. But still, even if professors are strict to you, it doesn't mean that they don't notice that you're doing well or just above average than you were supposed to do. So just be friends with them, talk to them, ask them that you're interested in their subject. Maybe it is true, maybe it is not. Just try to speak with them about anything, show your interest, go to office hours for sure, like even for Zoom office hours. Turn on your camera during Zoom lectures, you know, it all makes an impression of you. And that's how I became like a teacher assistant for like a second semester. And why I'm doing it, it is a volunteer work. It is quite stressful because I work with first years. You guys ask me a lot of questions in Telegram. And I mean, but it is all is paid at the future because you can become a research assistant after this. So just be in good touch with professors. And also my advice for first years will be, don't get scared if someone says that this professor is very strict, don't take his or her class, because Professor Irina, Professor Alejandro, they have very difficult classes. But if you perform very well, if you are a very responsible person, it will be easy. Like they will curve you, they will, you know, they will see your interest and work. So just be friends with strict professors, because from my experience, they are the most interesting professors to work with, and they're the most kind professors to work with.
It's a trap, guys. I'm kidding. So yeah, we really are slowly touched upon the topic of teaching and research assistantship. So maybe you can tell a little bit more about the experience of working with a professor, because now you talked about how to get in touch with them, and then maybe you can share how do you feel working for them.
Can I begin?
Yeah.
Because I think, the point is, I'm actually not eligible to work as research assistant in any of the project that I'm working right now. But there are always exceptions, and you can be one. So, my story was this way. It's what you, the freshman student, will likely to face when you finish your first year at university, is that there are basically lots of internship and employment opportunities, but they are not designed for you. So they say like third and fourth year students are the priority candidates. Well, I was also searching for this kind of jobs through CAC, Headhunter, or stuff like this, but I always get like third, fourth year student, but nevertheless I applied. Well, my advice to you is that you nevertheless apply. Like, you don't lose anything by sending your CV and cover letter to a certain employer. The worst you can get is you can get no, right? So you will not be punished or fined for this, and you're likely to get some results after you like apply 10 or 15 or 20 times. I don't remember how many times did I apply. It was probably like 15, and on the 15th time I got accepted. So my first ever intern was at CoronaNet project, is run by the uh, the München Technical University in Abu Dhabi University, and Dr. Karashenk is the major investigators of this project. And I applied twice there. First time I got rejected, and the second time they finally approved my application. It's really nice experience to be there first year, because you get you get a faster and easier. You get the experience in a faster way. You're not like third year when you get the first internship. In terms of research assistants, the story is very interesting. Well, before I planned to do research assistantship, I read the brochure prepared by Ministry of Research, where they said that third and fourth year students are eligible. And I was like, oh no, like I'm lost. But then I contacted the graduate of our university through LinkedIn, and he said, well, nevertheless, apply, try. And I wrote a cover letters for each of the professors that gave me lessons in PLS courses. There were 4 of them: Dr. Sagerska, Karon, Dr. Thibault, and Dr. And luckily, Dr. Thibault applied my, she accepted my application, and like first 3 or 4 weeks for free. And somehow I got the contract from the university for 3 months. And well, I was surprised, and I don't think I'm outstanding student or something like this. I'm a usual student, and I'm confident that there are a lot of students who are more hardworking than me, who are not as lazy as me. And if I could, manage some research assistant at first year, imagine what you can do, considering the fact I don't really like spending a lot of time on education, and I'm a lazy a bit.
Yeah.
And I want to quickly add to Alish's point. I'm sorry. So the way it works, professors need you. They really need you. So all you need is to reach out for research to them, because their funds would not be approved without undergraduate student research assistants. So all you need to have an interest, to reach out to them, to establish a relationship, and they really need you. They won't like reject you if you're really passionate about it.
Yeah, and you can just continue if you want about your teaching assistant experience, if you want, or Agnora, I don't know.
I was an undergraduate teaching assistant for a microeconomics course last year. It was a really interesting experience. Professor Alejandro, he reached out to me, and that was really interesting. I learned how to work with his instruments, like on different platforms. But help some students. But one thing I was really upset about it after all is that not a lot of students reached out to me, even though like I said like, oh yeah, I can help you, I can help you, I can help you. And I saw them struggling. I saw them struggling with preparing to the final exams, and I was, I'm here, I can help you, please, just accept my help. But yeah, so sometimes if you have like problems during your courses, there are people who want to help you. You just need to reach out to them. And also, I was a research assistant for CoronaNet. I am a research assistant right now for CoronaNet. It's a really nice opportunity. So it's on rolling basis, so you can apply. They mainly prioritize third-year students and fourth-year students, but you have a chance maybe when you will like, move on to the next like years and etc. It's really nice point to start your research experience too.
Yeah, so this Zarina mentioned a really important point, is that apart from learning how to, I don't know, develop your soft skills, you also develop hard skills when working with a professor, because it is something that is, you know, in your research interests, and you really learn some instruments, tools, and I know really like knowledge about your sphere of interest. That's really cool. Malisher, you want to add something?
Yeah, I wanted to add some piece of advice. No, we are now just having a limited amount of time sharing this information with you, freshman students. And what I would advise you is to get yourself a LinkedIn page and try to find the graduates of Nazarbayev University from your major.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask them what they did, what they did when they were at you, and you can get a better experience at finding some employment and research and some other opportunities. So please, that's my really the advice that I want to give to everybody. Please make sure you have a LinkedIn page and make sure you track and find the graduates of our university, or senior students, or junior students, or someone else who may give you some important piece of advice.
Yeah, that's a really great advice. Aknura, you can now share your experience with working with Dr. Irena, right?
So yes, I really liked working with Irena Krishova as her teaching assistant. I mean, it was quite easy because, I actually, when I took my curriculum class, I took from her, not from Professor Alejandro, with whom I'm working right now. So I just took out my old notes and was just looking for them and, just teaching from these notes. It was quite difficult because it was spring, last spring, it was online, students didn't attend Zoom classes, and I actually had an attendance sheet, like I was tracking who is attending, who is not, and those people who attended, they did very well. They were above average of the class. So yes, and then many students understood that they're failing, so they started attending at that, but it was like too late to change their grades. So my advice for you will be to attend Zoom sessions, even if you think that you don't have questions, there may be just something important to be told. And with Professor Alejandro, I really like working with him, actually. I was struggling a lot to close his Econometrics 1 class. But, like right now I see that he trusts me more and he gives me to teach in the way I want. Like, like he gives me a space to teach like some concepts as I understand them. So I think that yes, working with professors is very great if you want to go to a master's degree, because they will give you recommendation letters. And they will give you even better recommendation letters, not when you just close their subject for A, because it's not that much, unique. Like many students close subjects for A, but when you close subject for A, when you reach out them besides your course, when you become a teacher assistant or research assistant, it's all will go and be an advantage of you if you go to master degrees. If you don't go to master degrees, it's not important, but still maybe you will change your opinion when you go to a fourth year. So it's better to have something, like be prepared if you want ever to go to masters.
Yeah, and I think we're finished for the main parts, and I wanted to ask you one last question. Is that all of you guys are really successful and accomplished, and you have a lot of things going on, and the one important question is how you manage everything. How do you keep track of every assignment and all the things you do, and not like be really stressed? Because I know you're stressed, but like, how do you manage the stress levels? Can you just share your advice?
It's actually something that was asked of me during my election campaign. So, how do you manage and how do you manage your time? So, my answer is time management, right? It's I think everyone will tell you that time management is really important. So I always keep my planners and I do my Google Calendar. I put everything in it. So sometimes you just don't need to put only your deadlines or only your courses, your meetings. Sometimes you will have to put oh, from this time to this time I'm gonna eat. So you don't forget that. Yeah. From this time I'm just going to stare into the void and think of nothing. And you have 15 minutes for that. Yeah. So to have this healthy balance, you need to account for everything, even for some silly things, because I'm kind of a nerd. I like to play a lot of games. I like to read a lot of strange article about movie theories and etc. And I a lot of people in my life, they said, oh, you need just to quit it. And I tried to quit some of this, but it's not really working. It's something that you will eventually slip into it, right? And not to be lost in it for days, playing for days. You need to incorporate it in your daily routine. So you would always have this kind of fix, like an addict sometimes. So you really need to count for all of your wishes and all of the things that you want to do and need to do. That's my answer, I think.
I think it's important when managing your time, not just to create a timetable, but also stick to it. I think that's the hardest part. But yeah, it's a really great advice.
Yeah, I will say that when people say, oh, you're doing so many things, how do you keep up with things? Oh, you already finished submitted your assignment, and you will like, wow, you're so hardworking. And I will be like, I'm not hardworking. I'm just have high levels of anxiety, yes. But I'm just kidding, guys. You get used to things by third year. My advice for you with time management thing will be that, first of all, because our major priority is to study, my first rule, as I have said in the beginning, is to never take more than 5 subjects, no more than 32 credits per semester, because 32 credits from my experience was just my top, If you want to have both of your social life plus your club's life plus your friends plus your high GPA, you need to understand that studying is going to take a lot. So just make it normal. Don't go over, because no one is going to give you a certificate of accomplishment that you have finished so many credits. You have just a bare minimum to complete and to just finish it alive. And there's why my second rule is to try. If you have an opportunity not to take a summer semester, don't take it. You better spend this pity 3 months with your internships, or with just doing Coursera, or just with meeting friends, relaxing, going to a sea, because these 3 months will really help you to recharge, will really help you to boost your CV if you're doing internship or some paid work, because combining your summer semester with some paid work is a bad idea. Like, I know so many people who just didn't do anything on their studies because it is really difficult to study and write essays during summer. Just try one day and you will see like it's not working. So just study fall and spring and you will be fine. And so yes, and don't overwhelm you with studies. And also deciding regarding time management, I always have like kind of a strategy what subjects to take at what semester. I understood it after my first year when I had like too many writings or too many readings in one semester, or too much of math, or too many of super difficult subjects. So right now, for example, at my third year, I already have a plan. Like, I take 3 econs, 1 Kazakh, 1 ethics. Why? Because the Kazakh ethics are electives, and econs, they require my attention. They require all my brain work. And for example, if I take 4 econs and just 1 Kazakh, it will be too much. You will probably just, mix up all your econ subjects in your head and forget about some deadlines. So have a balance, like taking math courses and maybe language courses is a good balance, I think. Don't take too many language courses, too many writings. It will overwhelm you. And check before taking courses, how many readings do you have? Are they readings-based or writing-based? How strict professors are on attendance, maybe, if it matters to you. So just plan these all things ahead and you will have a more or less balanced life.
Thank you, Aknura. And let's just share talk and then we will go with questions, all right? So Tamris, you could wait a little bit.
Well, in terms of time management, I'm not that successful in the and I always watch the Insta stories of girls who wake up at 7 a.m. and they like plan their day, and I'm like, wow, well, that's super hard for me. It's just intuitively, assess the work that I need to do, and of course, education is the first priority. And once I'm done with every single course, I can do whatever other task. But I still struggle. I barely find time to go to the gym every day because this work makes me, relax. This is my relaxation. Well, I have a hard time of finding time for some partying, clubbing, or something like this. And sometimes I barely sleep at night, like 2-3 hours. Oh, yesterday I slept 2 hours probably. So yes, I think it all comes with your experience. Now I'm not that in time management, but I still manage to somehow, get the courses closed and get my work done. But yes, I just that kind of person who does not really like to frame himself into certain into certain frames. When I create a timeline for a day, I feel like I'm not a free individual. I'm not free with my time. I'm not free with my life. So I usually just write the things that I have to do for today without planning for time, because I can take a nap after the lecture, or I can do whatever sounds, because life is also a first priority. So yes, that's the another way to manage your time creatively, but it won't for everybody. Yes. If you want to get 100% your courses and work done, please stick to Aknur and Zarina's strategy, not mine.
I'm sorry, Tamris. I kind of wanted to clarify my point. So it's not that I wake up very early. I don't. I really mostly work during my nights. And so if you have some question during in 4 a.m. and you want to text me, you're welcome. I will respond to you probably right away. So it's kind of timetable thing is not what you want to be ideally as a person, it's what you are. So my like advice to everyone would be just try to feel yourself, what you're comfortable with, what your person are, like what your person like, what you tend to do, how you tend to function, and this kind of things you will see the patterns how you go, and on this you can like try to make a schedule around that, because you cannot really force yourself like wake up at 6 a.m. if you're like a night owl. I tried for a long time to do that, but really just listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to your urges. If you have urges to game, do that, but try to like fit it on like in some time, not to like to be, for example, I like, why did I like come to this, because for like as a gamer sometimes I experience this time that I just game for like straight away days without like doing anything else. And you don't want this situation, because if you're like forcing you not to game like for a long time, you're forcing yourself, and at one time you will break, you will just break, and you will like say like fuck like f everything, and you will just do nothing like gaming, and that's real unhealthy, and you will like miss on your studies, etc. And also to the point that you need, of course you need to plan your schedule, but don't expect it to be like schedule of subjects, but don't expect it to be perfect and balanced, because right now what PLS students are struggling with, that we have to take like 5 courses or 6 courses during our last years, because we cannot register them with current priority, and I think a lot of like students from different major will struggle with it. So in my future like schedule, I will have like all the PLS courses, 400, 300 courses. So sometimes work doesn't work this way, and sometimes you have to take summer break, but just try to listen to yourself, like don't reach the breaking point. Just love yourself, right?
Yeah,
Do what's best for you.
mental health is really important.
Yeah.
So I can make a little summary and then we'll go with questions. I'm really sorry again. So today we have discussed all of the methods that you can kind of that will help you adapt to Nazarbayev University life easier, and that will be student clubs, because you can develop your soft and hard skills there, meet people, get involved with networking and stuff, and you will kind of experience the responsibilities and maybe later apply it in your career. And then you can also become involved with professors, work with them, do research, or maybe teaching assistant, or I don't know, just be in good grounds with them. And but anyways, the most important thing is, of course, your studies. All the extracurricular activities are really good. However, they don't mean a lot if you don't study well. So please study well. And then I also would encourage you not to put pressure on yourself, because today you have met really successful students and you would think, oh my God, I'm nothing. So what should I do? Don't ever pressure yourself like that, because everybody is different. And I know if you're here, then you're already a very accomplished, very smart, talented person. Never forget that. And yeah, it's really important to take care of yourself. So now you guys can ask the questions. You can just unmute yourselves, and Therese, you can go first. Thank you.
Hello. Thanks for today's meeting and all of your advices. This was really helpful, and I literally took notes of them. And I just realized that Ms. Akhnur, you were my teacher assistant in my econ class, and you were so generous in your explanations and notes. Like, I'm really thankful as a first-year student. I wanted to ask that there are so many great opportunities in Nazarbayev University, that things that you can do, but there's another side of it, like fear of missing out. And I wanted to ask, did you experience it? And in case if you did, or even if you didn't, like, how can we deal with this?
Who wants to go first? Actually, I can also answer this question because I experience it almost every day and I always struggle with it. But actually, I forgot to mention, at our university, we have professional psychologists. They work here and you can make an appointment with them and discuss your problems because they're really helpful. And one way of, overcoming this feeling is, I don't know, you can visualize your goal and you, of course, know how to achieve that. You have a plan ahead in your head. And one thing that can help is to, think of alternatives. So, of course, you think, okay, I'm going to do that, that, and that, and then I'm going to achieve my goal. But if you think of other ways, I think the stress would be like diminished because if you don't do something that wouldn't be your only, like, I don't know, chance or opportunity to achieve your goal, because you already thought of some other kind of steps you can take. And that means that you won't miss out, because you have alternatives. But that could also put a lot more pressure on you. I don't know. That's another way of things unfolding. Yeah, guys, can you add something?
I think I can add because I've experienced it a lot. Like on campus, as Aknur said, lots of like things going on. Sometimes you just pass by and you see like it's like someone is singing and it's some event like acoustic night or something, and you don't have time. I have like midterm in the morning. Like gosh. On LinkedIn, I always see like lots of like on the feed, like, oh, I accomplished this course. I was intern for this course. I like led this conference, and it's really hard because, and I'm not prone to this. I sometimes give in to this, and I just sign up for everything, and then I suffer. So, but I try to like try my best in everything, and yeah, it's just hard. One thing is that I learned recently is that you, as Malika said before, you need to have your like life plan. It will change for sure. It can change the next day, right? But like have a rough idea of what you want to do and what step you need to like what steps you need to like to accomplish in order to achieve this, right? So, and it will eliminate some of the things that you don't need to participate really in it. And talk to the people who work in this or do something like this, like your seniors, like some professors even, and they will say like, oh, this is useless, you don't need to participate in it. Oh, but this is really like helpful. But even if you will like participate in something that you will think, oh, it's useless, it's not really. Every experience will be useful for you somehow. To understand that, oh, it's not great for me, I need to create my life goal better. So yeah, just I don't know, keep a positive attitude and really sometimes sit down, not rush into things and think, is it really important for me or it's not? Do I have like my energy to participate in this event or not? Does it bring value to my life or not? Or does it maybe bring value to my like mental health? Something like this. I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, I think that this is actually a very good question, Tamiris, because when I was the first year, I was so sad when I missed any party or any event. I was like, oh my gosh, like next time I go there, even if I have a final, like there's no way I miss it. But you do like this like only your first semester. At your second semester in your spring, you're so calm, you don't rush anywhere, you're like, guys, I have things to do, places to go, and so I'm busy today. Like you don't try to go like at each lecture for example, guest lecture. So what helped me a lot, or even right now in online, like I don't remember last time when I was like, oh my God, I'm missing it or missing that, is because I set a goal, like I want to go and do masters. Okay, so what I need to do masters, I need to study well. It's like my first priority. And secondly, I need to be good at my club, to have it like to put it in my resume or into my motivational letter. Oh, I need to go and speak with professors. So I like have like 3 fields to work on regarding my education. And fortunately, there are no like parties or anything. So it helps actually to stay focused on some things. But even if you go back to campus, you will have your first semester at campus, don't feel like, oh my God, like I don't have time to attend everything, because no one has. Just go at places or at parties where your friends are, or maybe that will be really good. So just just filter events. So it's fine. I mean, our university is very rich for events, and it's both a pro and both a con. So just it's fine. I think it's fine to have a desire to be everywhere, because that shows that you have some curiosity, and it's better to have a curiosity than not to have it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Alisher, did you want to add something or no?
Oh, in terms of, I didn't have such problems at all. I always wanted, well, I did only things that I'm interested in. Well, sometimes I wasn't interested in meeting with other friends and partying. Well, I didn't do this. Sometimes I was interested in attending certain classes, such as biology, for instance, and I didn't attend it. So easy, I do whatever interests me, nothing else.
Okay. So guys, do you have any more questions? Yeah, you can answer. Or ask.
Hi, it was quite an interesting session. Thank you very much. So you mentioned mental health several times. So I am an ex-foundation student, and I know how hard it is sometimes just to figure out what you're doing. Like sometimes you just lose the track of what you do, like you do it for nothing. So my question is, what do you do to maintain your mental health, not to stress out too much?
Yeah, you can go, Alisher.
Well, I think there's no single formula for everybody. But for me personally, I go to the gym. After gym swimming, after swimming, I go to sauna. I spend 3 hours probably at like this facility. Then I get tired as hell. And I come back and then I eat a lot of food. And that's how I manage to refuel, my mental health. Well, 2 things that make me happy and to like refuel my mental health is sports and food. Yes, so if you're like me, like if you find something in common, please do these things. Well, I think it depends on individuals, on people, but always just try to find it. And in terms of where, like, sometimes you get super overwhelmed with your classes and you're like, well, I have no time for going to the gym. You can just find at least like 30 minutes. It will save you a lot of time to work afterwards because you will get more productive. Like do with some mental health, feel happy, and then you'll be more productive. Definitely. You'll accomplish more tasks in 1 hour than if you did not do whatever makes you happy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I think. Thank you. I think that if a person has like real serious issues with the mental health, they should probably go and contact the medical professional. We have on campus. We have in our university like our counseling service. You can sign up for that. It's free. We know that there are some issues with the system and availability, so we are working on it. as a student government. So it will be one of the focuses. So hopefully in the future it will be better. And as for me, what I do is sometimes you need just to talk to people, like to see like the different perspective on your issues, on your problems. Sometimes you even don't think about it. Sometimes you just vent it out to like your people around you. So sometimes I felt like I don't have anyone to talk to, but I realized that yes, I actually have some like opportunities and to talk to somebody. So you always can write to me or like just post in WhatsApp like I need to talk to somebody. So if you don't have anyone around. And also, what do I do to like maintain my mental health on like daily basis? I think I really agree with Alshir on the food. I'm a real foodie, so food is my like one of the major happiness in my life. So I try to study different recipes, etc. And try to recreate them. Some really silly ones. Sometimes I also physical like activity is really good. So I dance a lot. I really like it. So yeah, as I said before, you need to incorporate the things you love and you like into your life. So it will help you to maintain like the positive attitude on life, I think. But really, if it's really hard, please contact the medical professional and some people around you.
Yeah, thank you, Zarina. And I think we're going a little bit over our timing. So do you have any more questions? We can take one more question and then we'll wrap up. You can also write in the chat if you have any questions. If there are no more questions, then I'm gonna thank all of you for attending this session today. Thanks a lot to our wonderful speakers. You really shared a lot of wisdom with the freshmen here. And I also learned some things too. So I'm really glad that you came. Thank you all and have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.